Why are we here? Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is on The Wings of Your Mind. Today the question is, why are we here? Today we find ourselves in the middle of a worldwide turmoil. We're surrounded by wars, by economic upheaval, by political animosity, and the continuing threat of killer diseases that seem to come and go whenever we need to be pulled back under control by the power structure. As we look at the state of the world, it looks pretty dark, I must admit, and in many parts of the world, the light of hope seems to have disappeared completely. But looking at the state of the world around us can easily lead us to the question, why are we here? Why are we here? But at the same time, we also find ourselves in the middle of the Easter season, where over 2 billion Christians are deriving hope by observing the death, crucifixion, and the resurrection of Jesus, the Christ. Now, one of the things that I've learned in metaphysics is that focusing on the negative only feeds it energy and makes it stronger. On the other hand, focusing on the positive acts like a magnet that brings the positive situation into physical reality and reveals the gifts that are hidden in the negative experiences. So let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what the story of Easter has to offer us in response to the question, why are we here? Why are we here? Why? Please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. I remember I would love to hear from you and any thoughts or suggestions or questions you may have. So use the chat box on the right side of the screen or the comment section below the video. And just a reminder, you can support our work. And our work does need your support. You can support our work through PayPal by going to my website at bozemandevelopment.com and clicking on the Please Donate button. Or you can use the Cash App at $Andre Amron, $AndreAmron, Andre Amron. Thank you. Thank you for your help. So, what answer does the story of Easter provide for us in response to the question, why am I here? Well, first of all, there is no one answer. There are 7.8 billion people in the world, and one size certainly does not fit all. And that's very important, but there is a group of people in this world to whom I pay special attention. And you are among that group of people. And the reason why you are so important to me is that you have chosen to come here into physical life to bring about a change and help heal the planet. You have chosen. I respect you for that. Remember, the stories in the Bible are multi-layered. So the story of the crucifixion and the resurrection, there's a lot going on beneath the surface of the printed word. First of all, Jesus was what is known as an exemplar. That is, he chose to come into life on the physical plane in order to show us, through his example, that we are more than just lowly lumps of clay of little and no value. He came to show us who we are. He came here to show us that we are divine. And he came here to show us how to claim our divinity. Jesus proclaimed that he and the Father are one. He and the Father are one. And then he turned around and he told us that we are like him. So we too are one with the Father, who is also known as God, who is also known as infinite intelligence. We, you and me, are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence, we have the ability, the capability of doing the things that Jesus did and even more besides. And he told us that we could do what he could do and even more besides. So we, each and every one of us, has the power to heal. We have the power to heal ourselves, and we have the power to heal others. We have the power to manifest. We have the power to alter the circumstances around us by our very presence. We just have to be there and be ourselves, and we can change what is happening around us. We all have that power. But the ability to provide that power is also part of us. We have that power. We have the ability to apply that power. But in order to make it work, it's going to take focus and discipline and belief. Now, Jesus attracted the animosity of those in authority because he showed that the seat of power is not in the man-made institutions that those who hated him represented. No, the seat of power is in the individual, in you and me, the individual. And because of his showing us that, he became an outcast. You know, he stood up and he said, I am. The Father and I are one. I am. He declared that he was a channel for the power of the divine, for the power of God. And because he made that claim, he was hated and persecuted and eventually killed. But you know what? I was just a situation that I found myself in delightfully. After I studied French for 4 years in high school, and I could remember teaching a Sunday school class. And in teaching the Sunday school class and really getting deeply into the Bible, something suddenly dawned on me. And that was, as I was looking at the name Jesus and relating that Jesus said, I am, it suddenly dawned on me that the term je suis, which is French, je suis. And in French, je suis means I am. And I kept looking at it, and I realized that if I took out the I in je suis, it would become Jesus. So Jesus is I am. The name of God is I am. And when you look into a mirror, you can see I am in your own eyes. I am. Of course, if you choose to declare and claim your status and power as I am, you're going to upset some people. You're going to upset those around you who are steeped in fear and will challenge your right to own your own power. They would rather give it to the church. But it doesn't belong to the church, it belongs to you. To those who would live in fear, you too will become an outcast. And because Jesus was a dangerous outsider who was causing unrest among the citizenry, then he had to be eliminated. He had to be done away with. So they rendered the authority figures, they rendered the ultimate rejection. They killed him. He was crucified on the cross. And by that same token, when you claim your own power as an expression of infinite intelligence, you too will be rejected by those around you who live in fear. Oh, they won't nail you to a cross, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. But rest assured, you are going to be out of the in crowd. You will no longer be invited to be there. You may be laughed at. You may be insulted or ridiculed behind your back. So you're going to be put out. You're going to be banished. You're going to be literally or figuratively killed as far as they are concerned, because they will declare you dead. But you know what? It's only after you have been pushed outside of the mainstream. It's only after you have been banished from the crowd that you can truly express your power. Because the price you have to pay for acceptance, in order to be accepted into the mainstream, in order to be accepted into the tribe, you have to suppress and deny your own power and yield to the power of the tribe, yield to the opinion of the tribe, yield to the thinking of the tribe, the group think of the tribe, and that is counterproductive. So being rejected and banished from the tribe, yeah, it's a form of death, because you've died to the old way of being. But the next step you take is to take on a new life. The next step you take is to be reborn. The next step you take is to be resurrected into a new life, into a new way of being, into being who you really are, an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. And when you rise anew, when you have stepped out onto the path of expressing and expanding your spiritual power, yes, you will seem to be alone, but Spirit is always with you. Spirit is always with you. So it's then that you begin to take on the role of becoming a true channel for the power of the divine. It is then that you open your mind, and you open your heart, and you open your being to becoming an instrument of infinite intelligence, an instrument. It is then that you take on the mantle of declaring who and what you really are, a spiritual warrior. Yes, that is why I think you are so important to this world, because you have taken on the mantle of being a spiritual warrior. In the words of Hayden Crawford, a spiritual warrior is a person who challenges the fears, lies, false beliefs, and judgments that create pain and suffering on this planet. This is a battle that takes place in the heart and the mind of an individual. The quest of the spiritual warrior is the same as spiritual seekers around the world. They face this challenge with the clarity and awareness that this war is fought within, and that truth and unconditional love are what the seeker finds. Truth and unconditional love. So that brings me back to the question, why are we here? Well, we're here to save the planet. We're here to save the planet. We are in the middle of a spiritual war. There are forces around us who seek to reduce us to scientific validity, which devalues us and our existence. They want to reduce us to our physical state only. This can be seen by a quote of one of the darlings of the upper class, one of the darlings of the ruling class in the scientific community. His name is Dr. Yuval Noah Harari. And Dr. Harari states, as far as we can tell from a purely scientific viewpoint, human life has absolutely no meaning. Humans are the outcome of blind evolutionary processes that operate without goal or purpose. Our actions are not part of some divine cosmic plan. And if planet Earth were to blow up tomorrow morning, the universe would probably keep going about its business as usual. As far as we can tell at this point, human subjectivity would not be missed. Hence, any meaning that people inscribe to their lives is just a delusion. Any meaning that people inscribe to their lives is just a delusion. So from a purely scientific point of view, he might be right. But science does not rule our lives, and science lately seems to be making our lives worse instead of better. So outside of science, the truth is that we are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And our job as spiritual warriors is to open the eyes of those around us to the higher purpose of being, to the higher meaning of existence. Jesus gave us a roadmap. He gave us a roadmap for elevating our lives to dimensions of spirit, the higher dimensions of spirit, and the direct influence on the divine on our lives. He gave us that. Let's not ignore that fact. He gave us that. You know, the French philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin told us in the beginning of the 20th century, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Spirit does not show up on a microscope. No. Spirit does not show up on a microscope. And that really pisses science off, because they want to reduce everything to where they can see it and they can control it. No, thank you. Spirit does not show up on a microscope. And we are charged by Spirit to rescue this planet from the darkness of that kind of thinking, to rescue us from the dark vision of science, to rescue us from those who seek to oppress us into digital slavery by demeaning us, by pressing us down, and by telling us we're worth nothing. Yes, our job as spiritual warriors is to pull us out from under the grip of those who seek to crush us. It's up to us to save ourselves. It's up to us to save our fellow human beings. It's up to us to save this planet from total darkness, and that is where we're heading. True, you may feel like, hey, that's only me. I'm only one. I'm only a candle in the middle of all this darkness. But the light of a candle, the light of a single candle, can penetrate the darkness and be seen over incredible distances. So, don't put yourself down. Imagine what you, along with hundreds of thousands of other candles, can do to chase away the darkness. The celebration of Easter is a call for spiritual warriors to arise and let their light be seen, as urged by the words of Matthew chapter 5, verses 14 through 16. Open your hearts to the light. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. You know, we are so much more than just skin and bone. We are so much more than just a collection of chemicals. We are so much more than just DNA that can be edited and spliced and reworked. We are more than that. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. We are greater than what they are trying to tell us we are. We are the children of God. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Jesus is our divine brother, and his journey, as an example, called upon us to follow his path and to break away from the status quo. They do not rule us. We rule ourselves, and we are the children of God, so that we can rise to our rightful place in the higher dimensions of spirit. We can do it, for we are spiritual warriors, and we are so much more than just our bodies. So much more. Let us close with prayer. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing all of us together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join in the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we're beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. As we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. We know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise, because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please remember to click on the thumbs up button below the video. And if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. And I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, your questions. So please use the comment section below the video. And remember, you can support our work through PayPal by going to my website at bozemandevelopment.com and clicking on the Please Donate link. Or you can support our work by using the Cash App at $Andre Amron. Remember, I am Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this has been On the Wings of Your Mind.